how do you go from being such a successful hockey player and utilizing the skills you learned on the rink to what you do now, to running a private equity firm?
I do think that there's individual challenges that you have. Being a member of a team, knowing what is expected of you, the personal discipline that comes in to be a professional athlete absolutely translates to, I think, all walks of life. I'd like to think it does.
Yeah?
But
is it the discipline?
The discipline, the personal discipline. What do I have to do to perform my best at the office here is a different set of maybe needs and requirements that I had when I was playing in goal. But I still have to understand what they are and have the discipline to do them and to jump through those new hoops.
So what is your firm, Environmental Capital Partners? What do you do in terms of the way that you invest millions of dollars in companies that are only environmentally friendly? But what criteria do you look for in them? Because to be honest, there's a lot of green companies and green initiatives out there now.
I think you hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of fuzzy areas in this thing we call sustainability or green. Green encompasses so much, and we do purposely broadly define what is green. It is not just about global warming, it is not just about clean energy, but we're talking about, I guess in a sentence, efficiency of resource use, and that means mitigating waste, that means protecting natural resources, whether that be water or energy. So we're interested not just in, you look here and you say, well, how much energy is this building using? What kind of energy are they using? What are what's the R value of the windows? These are products and companies that we have interest in.
Looking at Environmental Capital Partners, you have a few different initiatives that you've invested your money in. What are they and why put your money there? You
think about all the BlackBerries, cell phones, personal electronic devices. These things are piling up. They're going into landfills. They're fouling aquifers. But maybe this is a really good way of looking at it. They're not just toxins. They are actually opportunities to get very important resources like cadmium, nickel, lead, silver, gold. We can mine these things out of there. So instead of throwing these things away and then trying to mine more, we actually mine what is essentially waste products, trash.
Is that a company that you invest in?
Yeah, the company's name is Integra, and it's a leader in the space, and the footprint's quite large, and we'd like to grow it, and that's where we come in. We don't come in and tell these guys what exactly they do. They know how to run that business, but we provide capital and a lot of the expertise.
I'm interested to know, after 3 Olympics, a Stanley Cup, everyone that knows hockey knows your name. Why not go into the sports industry? Why work in finance and the environment?
You know, it is a good question. I love the sports world. I still play. I've got 3 boys. They all play. And I will do it at a lower level, mind you, for the rest of my life, as long as I can. But there are new challenges in life. You retire as an athlete at a fairly young age. You seem old in the sport, but you have the rest of your life to live. And I feel like it's a way of giving back. I thought about going into public policy in one way or another, whether it's elected officialdom or not. And
you still considering that?
I still do consider that, but the capital markets are really what the United States does best, and this is what changes the way we live.
Even after the crisis?
Even after the crisis, especially after the crisis, we need leadership from America, and that's why we need to really focus on this clean energy technology. And these are the technologies, these are the jobs, this is the industry. If we want to be a global leader, we have to do.
Is there something that the government needs to do? I've heard this from a number of business leaders, to be more business friendly in this country right now?
Absolutely. I think you need to be able to take a risk and not be punished for doing it. You need to have a more level playing field.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I think this. You look, we're still subsidizing the fossil fuel industry. That is not a fledgling industry. They are making profits.
To go away?
I think they do. I think if you want a level playing field, you have to subsidize those industries that you want to get on their feet. And when we get economies of scale and pour more money in this, the efficiency of solar and wind will come back. You need to pave the way and make the environment much more hospitable. You constantly hear, well, there's intermittency in wind. There's the lines, the power distribution lines throughout the grid of the United States are a real hurdle for some of these intermittent powers or solar. Trying to get from where the electricity is generated to where the centers of use are is a problem. The government can really grease that skid for us. We need to improve our grid for both being secure domestically and also just efficiency. And this is something that they can do that really facilitates the use of these new technologies.
Tell me the story finally behind, you wrote about remembering skating on your pond when you were a kid, and now your 5-year-old son talks about it. What is it about ice hockey and outdoor rinks like this one and energy efficiency that really came together to create what you are and what you do now?
I think I think the American public has to know that environmental issues are not about the environment. They're about jobs, they're about people, they're about our quality of life every day. It's a moral responsibility, it's an ethical question, it's an economic question at the heart of it. And so when you go out and say, well, my pond's not frozen today, is that a big deal? No, you might not be skating. But really what it's signifying is the world is changing around us in very measurable, definable ways. Don't worry about what happened in Copenhagen. The business world will see an opportunity as we have environmental capital partners, and we are going there. China is going there. The question is, the United States is either going to be pulled there or we're going to lead there. And that's really the question for this century for us. And
now's the critical moment.
For me as an American, I want